Dave, we're not going to say anything until you talk to us. Right? You're going to direct the conversation. You can say whatever you want. No, I just want to be clear about things.
Well, you're the only one here.
Hi, this is Andy B. And Hi, this is Andy B. And you're listening to Rock on Radio with Danny Coleman on City of Angels Recovery Radio.
I can't hear a thing here, Art. I got nothing. Let's see. We'll try these. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock On Radio. I am your host, Danny Coleman. I think. Can I? Yeah, there we go. Now I can hear something. Who opened the show tonight? Andy B. And Andy B. was. He kicked off my Blue Show last week for Valentine's Day too.
Oh,
See that?
nice.
Oh, well, it is 7:00. We are in Hightstown, New Jersey. I am Danny Coleman. As I said, welcome to Rock On Radio. We are sponsored this evening by Jody Weber, Eileen Sullivan, actress Eileen Sullivan, and CPA Jody Weber, our good friend Michelle at bridalmusic.org. If you're looking for some music for a corporate event or a wedding cocktail hour or any of that fun stuff, go to bridalmusic.org. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey, the official caterers of Rock On Radio. And by our new podcast people, family, Anchor.fm. Anchor FM, Anchor.fm. Let me re-speak that. Is that even a word?
No.
Respeak?
Sorry. Good try, though.
I tried. And by our good friend Rob over there in the UK with Deuce Music, which we will have the Deuce Music Minute at around 8:00. 7:30ish, we'll have Dave the Rave call in. We're expecting a special phone call very shortly from a duo of a sister duo, Gabby and Katie, better known as Sweet Marie. And that's it, I guess, right? Social media, where can they find us, Claire?
DCROR.com, which stands for Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio, and it has your Got the Blues show. It's got this show. It's got our podcast and a lot of cool pictures and sponsors and
all that fun
Crack
stuff.
On Chili.
There you go. DCROR.com. It's the short link for Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio. Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2. The number 2. Instagram, you can find us at Rock On Radio. Or you could find the podcast, all of our podcasts, the Twitter, or not Twitter, Facebook. Yeah. We have a Twitter? No, we don't have a Twitter. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. At Rock On Podcast.
I thought you tweet.
He tweets as himself.
I tweet as Rock On Radio, but we don't have a.
He's not.
We don't have a for the podcasts.
Or blues. No.
Or the Blues Show. We don't have a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Just yet. Yes, if you want to find me on the Blues Show, you can just go to facebook.com/DC Got the Blues.
Yep. DC Got
DC
the Blues.
Got the
And if you go to
Blues.
the website, all of that is there.
There you go. And you can get it from there.
That's it.
If you want to give us a call tonight, you can do so by calling or dialing 609 or hitting the button once. 609-241-7103. That's 7103.
If you had a rotary phone, you could start dialing now.
Yes.
Into next week, we can get the phone call.
And we will be there. That's right.
And if you're a millennial, you'll never call in.
Correct. There's
Yeah.
so many
Rote
things that
Can't figure it out.
I'm telling you, they don't realize or they don't know. I talked to
You're
a
not privileged. to know.
they have never not had internet.
I know. That's weird.
Scary, isn't it? Right?
Mhm.
You guys
Yeah.
have internet?
Yes.
That's internet.
How many of them are
The World Wide Web.
Well, in studio tonight, we have a YouTube link too.
Okay.
And they can find that.
If you go to coaradio.com, on the right hand side is the YouTube button.
I changed my vote.
Art and I sound alike.
I see.
We're practicing our trend.
Ventriloquism.
Ventriloquism. Yeah. Well, in studio then, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see over there we have Gladys. Over here we
Hello.
have Mike.
Mhm.
Over here we have
here?
Tony.
Mhm.
They are collectively the Power Tones.
I like it.
The Power Tones.
Mhm.
I like that. I like that name. Now, technically, the two of you are the Power Tones, correct? Everybody else is kind of like an add-on.
Yeah.
So you use a drummer, sax player, keyboard. What do you use? What is the ultimate Power Tones collection?
The basic is a drum, bass and guitar, and then we can add harmonica, keyboard, or saxophone as the gig calls for it.
Okay.
And the gig,
That's about it. That's it.
as a gig calls for it, that's what you use. And you try to use the good players, and a lot of times the good players are busy, so we have to have a couple drummers, a couple other guys to call, because the guys that are out playing gigs are the ones you want to use, and they're
too busy?
They're too busy. You go right up the line. I mean,
Oh, I know what it's like.
you know what I mean.
I know. Yeah, the gone are the days of everybody's in one band.
right.
Everybody
Yeah.
freelances themselves out and about.
Yeah.
And all over the place.
That's
Uh,
right.
So,
It's a good way to put it.
yeah, I mean, I know myself. I did that for quite a while.
Yeah.
And you get busy.
Yeah.
You get busy because especially if that's how you make a living.
Oh yeah. It's
You
a rough one.
need to be able to play basically at least 4, 5, 6 nights a week.
Yeah, it's a rough one. You got to be in a couple. No one band has that I know of has 4 gigs a week.
Oh,
Especially if it's a local area. If you have too many gigs locally, you burn out your local following,
true.
and then it's
That's
not
true too.
then it's not special anymore.
Very true.
Some bands they come up once every 3 months and they have 60
And they
friends
pack the
there.
place.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because they haven't seen him in quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys call your base of operations where?
Well, we live in Colonia.
Okay.
So I live in Colonia, and I met Mike about 3 years ago on a gig, and we found out we lived in the same town. So that's how we got together. We live about less than a mile away from each other, right? Or about a mile.
Right.
So close.
Yeah.
Yet so far.
All these years.
All right, so we'll just start. Whoop. Now I have no headphones. We'll start with well, Gladys is taking care of that. We'll start with you, Mike.
Yes.
What I mean, is blues your favorite genre to play and perform? And
Well, I played clarinet in 3rd grade. My parents took me for clarinet lessons. It was $3.50 back there, and the guy was the head of the union. He was a big Polish guy in Perth Amboy. I lived in Edison. If you didn't practice, he just looked at you. There was no choice back then to practice or not. You had to practice, and that worked out. Then I went to saxophone, and then I went to guitar. And then I saw B.B. King when I was 18, and it really struck me hard in New York as that music, the groove. It was just something about it. The vibrations of the blues music, it resonated with me, and I kind of been a fan ever since I was 17, 18.
Oh, very good.
You know, in
of
addition,
blues music.
yeah, in addition to Chuck Berry and the Rolling Stones, like everybody else liked.
So do you still play the clarinet or the saxophone, or is that
Not really, because the time restrictions. You know, to keep your chops up on one instrument, and working during the day, I had to make a decision to pick one. And to me, the guitar, you can make more noise with the guitar. It was more versatile than the saxophone.
we can make more noise? Yeah,
You know,
rock and roll. Oh, that might be our phone call from Sweet Marie. I'll let you hold that
Darn
thought.
it.
Hello, welcome to Rock on Radio. Who is this? Hello.
Hi, this is Sweet Marie. Hi.
There we go.
There we are.
How are you, ladies? That's okay. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Who's Gabby?
This is Gabby. Hi.
Okay. And who? And so at least Katie is the other one, obviously, right, Katie?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Now you two, well, say hello to my in-studio guests, the Power Tones.
hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Are they on a
Nice to
delay?
meet
Are you guys listening to yourselves on your computer?
No.
Okay, because there's a terrible delay coming through there. So we're going to try and work with this. There we go. All right. So you're two sisters. You both play guitar. Where are you two from?
We grew up in Morris, New York. It's kind of by Cooperstown.
Oh, okay. Cooperstown, New York. I was there once when I was 12.
Isn't that basketball? Isn't that
That's
the whole-
baseball Hall of Fame. Do they still roll up
Yeah.
the sidewalks in Cooperstown at like 5 in the afternoon?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, do they roll up the sidewalks in Cooperstown at 5 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
I remember
It's
that.
a pretty quiet area. It's mostly baseball and cows, but we try to make it a little better with singing.
Baseball and cows. Nice. Well, leather for gloves and baseballs. All right. So how did you two get started in music? I mean, who took up the instrument first? First of all, who's older? Right.
I'm Kate. This is Katie again. I'm older. I'm 22 and Gabby's 18.
Okay, so there's 4 years between you.
Yeah.
So did you
Yeah.
start playing first?
As far as how we started, so we were actually both homeschooled until we were in 7th grade. And kind of part of our curriculum, our dad would get us new CDs and stuff every week. So we honestly were just very inspired from that. This is Gabby speaking. I started playing guitar first when I was about 8. And then Katie picked it up a few years later. And then we were just singing together one day. And our dad was like, wow, you guys actually sound kind of good. So it kind of just came from that. But we've been doing it since then. So it's been about 4 or 5 years now.
Well, that's good. Did you tell your dad? Did you say, kind of good? I guess you're sort of supportive. So where do you?
No, he's good.
Okay. If it's all cattle and baseball up there, cows and baseball, where do you two perform when you play?
So usually we perform downstate, either in New York City or the Woodstock, Saugerties, Poughkeepsie area. We play down there a lot. There are some local venues up here that we like a lot, like the B-Side Ballroom. So yeah, we kind of, when we first started, we had to seek other places, but now that we've played more, we've found some local venues that we like as well.
Okay. Now, how long of do you do mostly solo gigs or do you do showcase sets?
We have done like showcases before. A really interesting one that we did a couple of years ago was an all young up and coming female performer showcase at the Colony in Woodstock. But usually what we do is we do our own sets. We do originals. Sometimes we'll do covers of old blues songs that we really like, but we try to stick to our own original music.
Now, the band that's in studio this evening, the Power Tones. They are a blues band. So it warms my heart. Doesn't that warm your heart to hear younger generation like embracing the blues? I love it. I love it. Now, do you have any of your do you have any originals that are of the blues music variety, or are you more on the pop end?
Yeah. We're not really pop. No, it's more like it's kind of a mixture of a lot of different things. So Katie, when she's writing, she tends to go for more of like the folky kind of thing like that. And then me, I tend to go for kind of like bluesy, like R&B and some pop too. I think that's partially just like an age difference thing. But it kind of all just like blends together. And as far as guitar, I'm mostly a blues guitarist. So
No,
we had a lot of.
You know what I find funny here, and this is because I thought I was the only one who had ever heard of this band. I don't know, maybe you guys have. Now, your influences vary. Let me read the list of influences that these two young ladies have listed. Are you ready for this? Django Reinhardt. Okay, we know. Billie Holiday. Okay, Chuck Berry, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, the band, Joni Mitchell, Janis. I'm going to assume that's Joplin. Fats Domino,
Yeah.
Hank Williams, and here's the one that kills me, because then we also have the Eagles, Aretha Franklin, Linda Ronstadt, Carole King, the Platters, Sinatra, Prince, and others. But here's the one that I cannot believe that these two young ladies even know who this is. I applaud your father. The Flying Burrito Brothers. Did you ever hear of the Flying Burrito Brothers?
Yeah.
There you go. See, somebody in studios actually heard of them besides me. That's fantastic. How on earth did you get involved with the Flying Burrito Brothers?
Well, like Gabby said, for a long time we were homeschooled, and a big part of our dad's curriculum plan was to just absorb as much art and music as we possibly could. So really, like, when we say every week, he would go buy new records, go buy new CDs, tapes, you name it. We had it in the house and just grew up listening to it.
Okay. Now, do you have a CD or a disc or just a single out?
So we're working on that right now. We're just finishing up some stuff now. We have 3 like little EP demos, I guess you could say, that we send to people and that gets some airtime. Right now we're finishing up a website, and we have one more song to finish up, and then we'll be releasing a full EP by the end of the spring.
Okay, fantastic. And you did that with David Sanchez, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the 3 songs that we that I have played on the radio a few times, we did those with David Sanchez, and then right now we're finishing up one that we're doing by ourselves. We're producing it on our own. So we're pretty excited about that. Hopefully people like that one, since that's, all of it's exciting. It's a little bit more nerve-wracking, but yeah, we're excited for
There you
that
go.
one to come out.
All right, so how do we find you? Website, social media, that whole thing?
So right now, the best place to find out about our upcoming shows is either our Instagram or our Facebook page. It's the Sweet Marie Music. And we're in the process of getting our website finished up now. Hopefully within the next month, that'll be finished.
All right, great. Now we're going to play a song of yours called Paintings as soon as we're done with this conversation. You want to tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, so I actually wrote that song a fairly long time ago. And I wasn't really sure how I felt about it. But after working on it and stuff a lot with David, he added a lot to it. And now it's one of my favorite songs of ours that we do. So yeah, I don't know. He was very, very helpful in the whole process of making that song kind of come alive. Because when we do it, it's just us and our guitar, but he definitely, like I said, added a lot to that one. So
Okay, great. All right, so once again on the phone with me, I have Sweet Marie. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to call us this evening. We greatly appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck. Actually, if you want to go,
thank you.
if you want to go to Facebook and go to Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2, our producer Claire is putting up your pictures and links and everything to that as we speak. So people can find you through Danny
Awesome.
Coleman's Rock on Radio too. All right, ladies. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And we wish you nothing but the best, and we wish you well. And make sure that you get a lot of writing done up there with the cows and baseball, and we'll be good.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
for having us.
there you go. Thank you. Rock on. There you go. Sweet Marie. That's Gabby and Katie, and this is their song called "Paintings" here on Rock on Radio.
Give a little love sometimes. We all need it once in a while. No, everything is getting hazy. Everything I wanna know is everything that I don't. Turn back around. You came so close to everything you ever wanted. But then you saw your reflection and you couldn't believe that it was you. And you got on the bus train, was filled with consequences. 'Cause your heartbreak doesn't need a suitcase to get on board with you. You're just another painting on my wall. Full of different colors, you think you can change them all. Change the direction of your messy and running on my mind. Take a different color and start at a different time. I don't know how I should feel when you think of me late at night. When you say that you just have a feeling, but how the hell do I know you're right? When you got on the first train, it was filled with consequences. 'Cause your heartbreak doesn't need a suitcase. On board with you, you're just another painting on my wall. Full of different colors, you think you can change them all. Change the direction of your blessing and running on my mind. Take a different color and start at a different time. Ooh.
You can't go back. You can't change the messy handwriting you left on my mind. You can't go back.
There we go. Sweet Marie here on Rock on Radio. I am your host, Danny Coleman. Our guests in studio tonight are the Power Tones. We have, that's it, Gladys, Mike, and Tony. You want me to call Tony or Anthony?
Either way.
Either way?
When
Okay.
I'm in trouble, I'm Anthony.
I remember that. Yeah. So every time my mother would call me Daniel.
Watch out.
Daniel. So, all right. So we were, I was going to get started and then we got the phone call. Well, we'll start with you, Gladys.
Okay.
So is bass your first and only instrument?
No,
Or did
no,
you
no,
start
no.
out like Mike did with the sax and the guitar?
No, I've actually never played the sax in my life, but I played guitar. I started guitar when I was 13, and bass came up 2 years ago. It was Mike's idea. He said, "Why don't you play bass?" I'm like, "I don't know. I never played the bass before. I'll bring you bass." So
I'll bring you up.
I fell in love with it.
Nice.
Loved
Really?
playing the bass a lot more than guitar, even. So
Mm.
who knew? All these years I could have been playing the bass.
You know, you don't fit the bass player stereotype.
Is that right?
You know, 'cause,
Thankfully,
well,
right?
well, most okay. There are these days.
Because she's female.
Well, number one,
There are a
because she's
lot
female,
of
but there are a lot
female
more
bass
female
players out
bass
there.
players now. Yes,
Are.
there's one in a band called Kicking Harold. They're from the West Coast.
Okay.
She's phenomenal, absolutely incredible, and her name escapes me right now. I don't know why, because she's a friend of mine on Facebook and Twitter and everything else.
What's her name?
But what's her name?
What's their name?
Oh, Kicking Harold. But she's incredible. And, you know, most male bass players are either total nut jobs or total recluses. You know, one or the other. There's kind of like no in between. You know, they're very stoic or they're very animated. So, okay, so you're playing bass now.
Yeah, this is a flat wound strings, and it's smooth. It feels really, really good. It's a short scale Longhorn. This is called, this particular bass, and a lot of basses have longer necks, and you know, I just love the way that it fits like a glove. I love this particular bass.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it is. That is kind of short, huh? As far as the length of the but it's
And
cool.
it's light too, which is great. You don't have
Oh,
to-
is it?
Yeah,
And it's got a unique shape.
When you carry it, it's not. Yeah, and it's a beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got
beautiful
a unique
instrument, yeah.
shape. Now, did you choose that, or did he surprise you that way?
This is Mike's bass, so I don't play my own instrument, as
Oh.
they say.
It's a Jerry Jones remake of the 1960s Dan Electro bass.
Right.
That's okay.
Dan Electro, you heard it.
Uh-huh.
Dan Electro.
Yes, I have. All right. So how did you get into blues music?
Well, I've always loved the blues. You know, I liked rock blues, which if I know that Mike is not particularly a rock blues guy, but I like all kinds of blues. But anytime I heard a rock song that had a blues influence, I'd be very much interested in that song. Anything that had so I always loved it. And it came up a couple of years ago when I met Mike, and he said he's in a blues band, and I'd never been in a blues band. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting to me. I would love to do that. But I did do a Bonnie Raitt tribute a couple of years back too. So she's wonderful
Blues.
performer, and
Yeah.
love her. So
What kind of band were you in before that?
well, I've been in a lot of different bands. I had my own wedding band for a really long time. I was in the Party Dolls, which is
I've heard of them.
Oh, with
Yeah.
with Lisa Coppola.
Lisa Coppola was in that at one time, but
Yeah.
she's not in it now. I mean, she wasn't in it when I was in it.
Who else
Neither
was
one
in
of us
that?
are in it now, but
I don't think my friend Gloria was in that. Yeah, Gloria Carpenter. You know
no, Gloria is a really good friend of mine. I've known her for over 30 years.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, she used to sing in the wedding company that I had in one of the bands. No, she was never in the Party Dolls.
No,
No.
I didn't think so. But I know there was a band. Well, she's in the band now with that Al Kessel, our
the
hayride
80
buddy.
80
Right.
Revolution.
I
80s
sub in that band
Revolution.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
You know Al. And Brian
It's
Silver.
a small world.
Yes, we do the Al has his hayride event that
Okay.
he does every other week, and we do that. We re-air it we record it and we re-air it on this station, and I MC the event, and it's done at a church in Hopewell, actually.
Right. Nice.
So yeah, How about this? See how
Yeah.
small music makes the world?
Yeah.
I love Gloria, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah,
Matter of fact,
she's-
Gloria is
she's-
the one that hooked
yeah.
us up with Al
Yeah.
for the whole.
Yeah, she's a
the
great
hit right
woman.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be Dave the
7:30
Rave.
on
There
the
you
nose.
go. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Is this Dave the Rave?
Yes, it is. How you doing, Danny?
All right, Dave. What's happening, buddy?
Not much. Hi, Art. Hi, Claire. Hello to the Power Tones.
Hey, how are you, Dave?
Did I
Dave
get
the
everybody,
Rave.
Dan?
You got us all. That's it.
Okay, cool. Hey, I got you the cigars I told you I was going to get you, so we got to exchange a mailing address later, all right?
Oh, that is fantastic.
All right, good.
You're the man, Dave the Rave.
Hey, I'll keep it quick.
Okay.
I have a show in your neighborhood in Jersey. We've got Elvin Bishop and Charlie Musselwhite playing
Wow.
Thursday, February 20th at the Mayo Performing Arts Center in Morristown, New Jersey.
Mhm.
I'm sure you're familiar with that, Dan.
I've been there, yes.
All right. Well, tickets are still available. They're starting at $39 and $69. Young lady by the name of Alyssa Amador is opening for them.
I'm not familiar with her, but okay. Go ahead.
And this one is closer to me, just over the Tappan Zee Bridge. We've got Blue Oyster Cult, Friday night, 8 p.m. Tickets still available. Tarrytown Music Hall. Tickets are going, Danny, 48 and 75.
Oh, wow. The Cult. Have you ever seen Blue Oyster Cult?
I've not. I know how
200
famous they are, especially out on Long Island.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen the Cult 6 times over the course of my life. And our good friend Joe Sarasano.
Nice.
You know Joe, right? Joe gets up and sings with them every now and then. With
I saw them in
Blue Oyster
Peoria,
Cult.
Illinois, in a
Who-
bar. Like
Who was the soft white underbelly, Dan?
That was Blue Oyster Cult.
It was, okay.
Yes,
All right.
that
More
was
cowbell.
Blue Oyster
More
Cult.
Right.
cowbell.
That was their what do you call it? That's what they went out as when they first got together.
Oh, I thought that's what they would play like side gigs. They would use that name so nobody would bother them.
That's what they would do sometimes there too. Now, I don't know, Art, do you remember this? Remember when the Conduit first opened up?
You asking me?
No, Art.
No.
Oh.
Across from the arena in Trenton,
Oh yeah,
on the corner there, right? The Conduit. They had hoped that by opening this little tiny bar in Trenton across from the arena that's there, they had hoped that they would get bands that were between New York and Philly to stop and perform there, like an unplugged acoustic type thing. Because it was a small room. It only held about 80 or 90 people, maybe 100 tops.
Not very good.
It had at the time, it had a state-of-the-art sound system. I mean, they spent like $250,000 on this sound system. It was an incredible sound system. And Blue Oyster Cult played there as Soft White Underbelly.
Ooh, cool.
They
And you
booked
got
them-
to go to that gig?
No, unfortunately, I did not. But they did play there, and then they wound up playing the arena across the street with Steppenwolf. Go figure. And Foghat, actually. So it was it was a pretty good gig. So
I don't even think there's any original members left in Foghat, to be honest with you, Dan.
yeah, Roger Earl, the drummer.
That's
He also
Great.
goes out with a blues band, Earl and the Agitators. Well, you had the bass player and the guitar player. I think both have passed away. One had liver cancer. So, and the other one, I'm not sure what he's doing, but yeah. So you had 2 members who passed away from Foghat. It's another band I've seen about a half a dozen times. They're fantastic live. You guys ever seen
There's a
Foghat?
rumor.
No. Good.
I'm
Great
sorry,
blues
go ahead.
band. Go ahead. There's a rumor. What?
There's a rumor going around that the world famous Mad Dave's Englishman might be playing gigs in March. But I'll let you know in the next couple of weeks.
All right. Keep us posted
Yep.
on that up there.
We're definitely trying to get out of the rehearsal space. I basically told the guys, all right, put up or shut up. So,
It's time. That's right. All right, Dave the Rave. Well, thank you, sir.
hey, appreciate it. Rock and Roll Review, New York City. Even though it wasn't in the heart of the city, close enough.
Doesn't have to be. You got it, Dave. Thank you, sir. And we'll be talking about them
on, Dan.
cigars, my friend. Rock on.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Dave the Rave's Rock and Roll Review here on Rock On Radio. Well, why don't we do some music?
Okay.
Let's do some music. We'll come back with some music. Our guests tonight in studio are the Power Tones. If you want to give us a call, please do so at 609-241-7103. And what are you going to do for us?
To Look My Way, Baby. This
Look
is called.
My Way, Baby.
Yeah.
The Power Tones.
1, 2, 3, 4. I said, well, listen here, baby, hear what I have to say. You're looking like you're looking to cast your blues away. Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby, and see what it's all about? I see you walking on the ground, looking so sad. Walking over here, I can make you feel glad. Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby, and see what it's all about? I'll take it, Mike. Well, I've been walking every morning, a little jogging too. Been watching what I'm eating, saving all this stuff for you. Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby, and see what it's all about? Well, if you're liking what you're seeing, just give me a chance. Spend a little time, baby. We can have a nice romance. Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby? Why don't you look my way, baby? See what it's all about.
Woo,
Power Tones
nice.
here
Very
on
nice.
Rock On Radio. Love it.
Awesome.
Excellent. Now, who's the principal songwriter?
Well, we both write. Mike and I both write. Sometimes I'll write lyrics, and he'll come up with some kind of a groove, and then I think of a melody. Sometimes he writes most of it, comes in with it, and then I might tweak a couple of lyrics, and it depends. It's all different. Sometimes I'll come up with almost a whole song, and then we'll just change the whole feel of it. One time I came in with like a 6/8 kind of a ballad, and we changed it to like a reggae thing. So you never know what's going to happen, you know. He came in with a jump song, and we turned it into a ska one time. So everything it changes.
Oh, there you go. See?
Whatever it feels, whatever feels good.
There's a guitar, not a guitar player, keyboard player, friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while. I have to check in on him actually. A fellow by the name of Rio Clemente. He's from up around Jersey City, I think. And he said to me, he says, Danny, he says, why I love playing jazz? I said, why? He says, because it'll take me as far as my mind will let it. And he's right. And the blues, to me, the blues are the same way because, there's that old, I have a couple buddies who are jazz guitarists, The one guy always loves to utter that quote, blues players know 4 chords and play to millions of people, and jazz players know millions of chords and play to 4 people. Or thousands of people, whatever it was. But yeah, and blues are, you can, I don't know how you guys feel about it, and maybe Tony, you can help me with this because we're going to get to you next here. But as a blues drummer myself, a guy who likes to play the blues, I should say. You can, to me, the most important part of playing that genre as a drummer is the use of dynamics.
Oh, sure.
You know, you don't want to be too loud. You know, like something, a simple little shuffle like that that you guys just played. You know, if you're all over the place or too loud as the drummer, you just totally screwed up the whole nuance of what they were trying to put forth.
Yeah, that's why God created rock and roll. Yeah. They could go off on that.
Well, and it's. I remember I was playing with the last blues band I was in, and we were playing a local gin joint around here, and the place was, I mean, packed. The place is always crowded. They have a good dinner too, but it was packed, and we got to, oh gosh, what song were we doing? Might have been, that wasn't Stormy Monday, but it was something that had a heavy guitar ride.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we were cooking pretty good, and then there was really doing well, and all of a sudden there was a part in the song where it just had to stop with the hi-hat choke, and I could collectively hear the room go I mean literally gasped, because it went from way up here down to nothing. And yes, and I had never experienced that before as a player, and you know, I've been playing the drums since I was 11 and a half. 10 decades. Go ahead, I beat you to
Long
it.
time ago. Woo, baby.
But so, I mean, yes, the use of dynamics, the use of timing. You know, you don't have to be a metronome. I mean, music's got to breathe, but you have to be able to, especially off of the bass player, like right there, that last tune at the end, during the guitar ride. I felt you, Gladys, wanting to go as you were going up the scale. You know, that's one of those that's made perfect for the boom, 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 boom. You know, when you double it up, and there's just so much you can do to feel blues music.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's non-committal.
No, if you do, like you said, that little crescendo, and then you stop. You stop, like you said, with that hi-hat or a tight crash and bring it down. And you do it all at the same time. You'll get applause from real aficionados and can appreciate that dynamic.
Right.
And you're all paying attention. You're all together on the same page. And there's nothing like it. It's like hitting a sweet spot on a racket. You know, it just feels perfect. You know?
Exactly. And I mean, am I right or wrong, or Tony and I right here? Do the drummers have to stick together? What are we gonna do?
If you listen to an old Joe Turner record in your house on the stereo, you'll hear a certain balance. And then if you go to the way I mix the band, if it's my gig, we'll do a sound check, and I'll be in front of the band, and I want to hear that same sound, and I'll have to say the drums are 3 times too loud. The records are not like that. Sometimes you can even hear that, and the bass is not overbearing on the old records. So if you want to sound authentic at the gig, that sound has to be coming from the bandstand. So this one has to dial. It has to be balanced there. And the PA just amplifies that in a way, but you can't really whack the snare. When you hit the snare drum really hard in a small place, everybody's head should turn around. They just say, "What the hell was that?" You know, you have to leave space for that. You know, so that's so our MO is kind of, we get called back to gigs because we're not clearing the room with excessive.
Because you're not
to your
loud.
point.
Sure. Yeah.
And to add to what Mike was just saying about the drums being kind of not in your face, the old recordings like Chuck Berry and a lot of the blues recordings, you know, that's the way that was. And it's back in the room. It's all recorded with one mic. When we are doing our recordings, it's kind of what we're trying to do too, is have that old sound. And, you know, we're not overdubbing, we're playing live as we're, you know, recording our songs. So the CD I gave you, it's all recorded live.
Where'd
They
you
did
record
back
that
in the
at?
old days.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 different studios. One was the Ponderosa, where two of the songs. Day Drinking we just released. That was recorded at the Ponderosa, and Ward of the State we haven't released yet, but it's on the CD I just gave you.
I
And,
love that show. Dun, 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 dun,
Ponderosa. Well, there are actually horses outside of this studio too.
There wasn't
And the
Bonanza.
other songs were recorded at Jason
Carlstadt's Sonic Architecture.
Jason Chronic's
Carlstadt.
studio. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. So how about you there, Anthony? How long you been playing the drums?
What's today? 51
What
years.
time is it?
51 years. I started in grammar school, 1968, I guess. And I couldn't play a wind or brass instrument because of my cleft palate.
Okay.
So I love Ringo. So I thought, all right, I'll play the drums.
Nice.
And I played in the school orchestra and band all through high school. I turned pro at 12.
Understandable.
I was in 7th grade. I played the 6th grade dance for $5.
Oh.
There you go.
Woo!
I was 14. I waited a little bit.
Yeah, I grew up in Maplewood, New Jersey. So,
Maplewood.
we had the police had a fuzz band. They were popular at the time because the whole 60s and 50s was real popular at the time. And I don't know what happened to their drummers. So they used to come pick me up because I was the only drummer around, I guess. Because I couldn't drive. I was only 14 or 13
Well, you couldn't drive legally.
legally, but I played the bars. You know, with them.
Go figure, right?
They were all off-duty policemen. You know.
I guess you were in safe hands.
And I've been playing ever since. You know.
Oh, good for you. Great. Who's your favorite drummer? Who influenced you?
Well, I used to listen to a lot of Gene Krupa, the old movies. I love Keith Moon, John Bonham, of course, and a lot of rock and roll. Jazz, Art Blakely, all the old timers, you
Okay.
know, jazz. I studied with the teacher, Gene Taylor in Maplewood, who taught Max Weinberg.
Oh, okay.
Max is a little older than I am. And Max and I talked one day, and he said, well, you went to a storefront, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, he would come to my house. I said, oh, pardon me.
Excuse me.
I rub it in. So
Yeah, well,
anyway,
Well, you know what you tell Max Weinberg? When there's this band called Joe Belia and Thieves.
okay.
Okay, they're from upstate New York somewhere. Whenever they come down to Jersey and they play they always like to play the Stone Pony. They do it once every couple of years. Well, guess who they use for the first set or two? Max Weinberg
Oh, no
plays with
kidding.
them, right?
Yeah.
So the last time they were there, I was there. And afterwards, of course, Max is signing pictures and autographs and albums and things like that, taking pictures. And I look, and when the first set was over, he was only doing one set with them this night.
Mhm.
He takes his drums off to the side where you load in Stone Pony, and he takes it over there and he starts disassembling them, puts them all stacked up neatly. Then he disappears. He went and got his car. He had a roadie for himself that night. That's right. There's no Conan O'Brien to bail him out. There was no Bruce Springsteen road crew to bail him out. Max was on his own.
The good old days.
And you got a roadie, right?
Yeah, myself.
There you go. See?
Sometimes your wife.
My wife. Yeah, my wife owned her.
Oh,
true.
gosh. True story. Oh, wow.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, gosh, that was within the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So he was very gracious. I mean, he took pictures till I think everybody got one with him. The place was packed. So, but who's your favorite guitar player?
Well, I remember hearing Brown Sugar in '71. That impacted me first, that song. And they said, that's the Stones. And I heard it a couple weeks later because we only had the AM radio. That's the Rolling Stones. I couldn't figure out if it was two bands or so. That was a couple months trying to figure out who they were. And then I went through that, and then I guess Chuck Berry, and then I had my James Burton era with he did stuff with Ricky Nelson. He was Elvis's guitar player. The way you come about it, you hear a guitar part that you like on a record, hear another record, and you find out it's the same guy. That guy is kind of hitting the spot with you, and then you try to figure out what he's doing. I never gravitated towards a heavy lead guitar. It's just not my personality.
Okay.
All the guys I liked were like little lick fill-in behind the scene guys, as opposed to Hendrix or a Stevie Ray Vaughan type of guy who's really out in front of the music.
Right.
That was really just never me.
Okay.
No.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, one of the things I do as a side gig is I'm also a writer for multiple entertainment magazines, online magazines. And so I get to interview a lot of famous people, let's just say, right? So one of them that I interviewed not too long ago, a couple of years ago now, was Liberty DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you know who the drummers are that I like? And he said Ringo Starr and Mick Fleetwood were the two that I remember him saying. He said, you know why? He said, because they know how to stay within the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not flashy. They're not out of control. They don't just fill for no reason.
Yeah.
They stay within the song.
Right. They play with the band.
Right. Yeah. Everything they do is done tastefully.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I saw a video last week of Neil Peart with the Buddy Rich Orchestra doing Rush's YYZ.
Wow.
With an orchestra. It was it was amazing.
Wow. I have to look for
Instead of the guitar part, it was a clarinet.
No kidding.
Doing the guitar ride. Yeah, it was really well done. Wow. How about you, Gladys?
My influences?
Yeah.
Well, I like so many different things. When I was growing up, I liked listening to Aretha Franklin and the Motown stuff. And of course, I liked the Beatles and all that. Linda Ronstadt I liked. Later on, I liked Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday.
Okay.
Geez, so many different influences. I grew up listening to country music around the house. That's what my mother listened to. So I like Wanda Jackson and Dolly Parton from way back, before, I'm like way back, before 9 to 5 and
before
all that
she
stuff.
Worked 9 to 5.
Exactly. It was real country. And Merle Haggard and Mel Tillis and Johnny Cash and all that. So I listened to all that stuff.
Okay.
And it's sort of just, all a part of me. What's that?
I said it all just filters down.
Yeah.
I know when I was a kid, my mother used to listen to two artists. When she was like happy, it was Elvis.
Oh, Elvis was another one.
And when she was cleaning the house, it was Creedence Clearwater. Which is always fun. My dad used to listen to the Platters and Charlie Pride. And Charlie Rich.
Wow.
Go figure.
My mother liked Charlie Pride too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's do some more music. What would you like to do?
You want to do a little better than this?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll try not to take that personal.
What's that? Oh, you'll see. You'll hear what it's about. No introduction is necessary.
There we go. The Power Tones here on Rock On Radio.
I get home late, tired from work. You're still on that couch in your dirty t-shirt. I ask you how was that job interview. You say you didn't go, it wasn't right for you. Call me crazy, say I'm shooting for the moon. Call me Pinky, say I'm crazy like a loon. I ain't looking for no heavenly bliss, but I think I can do a little better than this. Beer cans in the kitchen, socks on the floor. Clean it up before you walk out that door. You say you're gonna get around to it soon. That's what you said yesterday afternoon. Call me crazy, say I'm making no sense. Call me choosy, say I'm high maintenance. I ain't looking for no charming prince, but I think I can do a little better than this. I thought I'd surprise you on my lunch break. I brought home some sushi and your favorite cake. I opened up the door. What do I see? Your arms around our neighbor. You're cheating on me. Call me crazy, say I'm out of my mind. Call me silly, say I'm wasting my time. I don't wanna be last on your list, and I think I can do a little better than this. I know I can do a little better than this. Damn right I can do a little better than this.
The Power Tones.
Yeah, no explanation necessary.
Exactly. I think you all know what it is.
Nice.
Who did I write
Nicely
that song
done.
about?
Hmm.
Nobody I know.
Oh. 609-241-7103. If you want to speak with the Power Tones, you can do that by calling that number. So this will be available, or parts of it will be available as a podcast very
Right.
shortly,
Mhm.
sometime this week.
Yep.
You can find that by going to anchor.fm/rock on podcast. Same thing on Spotify, Spotify /rock on podcast.
We'll just search Rock On Podcast. Will pop up.
There you go.
Mhm.
See?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Once again, 609-241-7103.
And all the links are actually on our Facebook page for Rock On Podcast as well.
Oh, good.
You can just click on those links, go to who you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take you right there.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
I like it. And tomorrow night is Danny Coleman's Got the Blues. That can be found on
Jazzon2.org.
WWFM.
89.1.
Yep. Excuse me. FM radio. And Jazz on to HD2 and jazzon2.org. Or if you're in the Toms River, New Jersey area, you can get it at WWNJ 91.1 FM HD2, or also online at jazzon2.org. So who do we have on the playlist? Oh, thank you, Claire. Claire sees I'm choking, gets me water.
I've listened to 89.1 quite a bit.
The jazz station.
Yeah. I
Yep,
didn't know
they
you
got
were
a
on- I
couple
didn't know
blues
you were on
shows.
there.
Yeah, that's what I do
Yeah.
on Monday nights from 7 to 8 Eastern.
Yeah, listen to that. Station 2.
Oh, cool. 7 to that's Mercer County Community College.
And
That's
if you
where
can't
that's
get it on your radio, you can go to jazzon2.org.
Mm-hmm. Listen
on
online.
Yeah.
And soon Art will be replaying them here.
Yeah.
Once
Cool.
I get him some more shows.
Listen to a few now, I think.
Yeah, we got
We're
a couple.
almost there.
Mm-hmm. I got to get them from another thing. I've got them all on a thumb drive, and I have to on
Give
two
me the-
thumb drives.
You have to give me the thumb drive.
I have to make sure I got the right one.
So you've had 2 months of it already. So that's
Yeah,
great.
almost. This will be the 8th show
Yeah.
coming up.
Your Valentine's show was cute.
Did you like that?
I did. It was cute. Yeah.
What did you find appealing about it?
I don't know. my girls and I listen sometimes, so it was fun.
Oh, well, thank
They
you.
liked it. They
Yeah.
give a nice selection. All the local people and some major people, and that's a nice mix.
I had, if you're a local blues artist like the Power Tones,
Mm-hmm.
who will be now
Nice
featured on
features
an
then, yeah.
upcoming episode.
Yeah. Laura Cheadle had hers, and she gave you one for your Valentine's show.
Yep, Laura Cheadle. This week's playlist actually has for this week's show I got Papa Carl as a bonus track after I closed the program. Papa
nice.
Carl, a track I played the drums on,
Mhm.
actually, called Winning Time, which he wrote for the Meadowlands. The Hamiltonian or Hambletonian, whatever the race is up there.
Yeah.
And he actually, the song got picked. It was part of it was like a full length CD. So that's on there. Who else do I have on this upcoming? Slim Chance and the Gamblers, Jersey
Mhm.
Girls Don't Pump Gas. We'll be
Right.
featuring that
Woo-woo,
one.
we don't.
A few other local artists.
I know Mario.
You know Mario?
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
we have many more connections than we could have ever
That's
known.
right.
Once again, this is the Power Tones are here, which this brings us up to the Deuce Music Minute here
Bell
on
tolls.
Rock on Radio. Let me see if I can find that. And this gentleman, kind of a countrified blues player. I tried to stick in the blues theme for you guys tonight.
Thank you.
You know, right?
Appreciate that.
This is a fellow by the name of Richard Ryan, who's based down in Louisiana. Wheezy, down in Louisiana, in the deep south. Currently, he's making a name for himself in his hometown, which makes no sense. His hometown of Louisiana.
Oh.
Louisiana.
It's all his hometown.
He's actually got he debuted a single with the same name, Louisiana. He's been picked for the song has been picked as Song of the Week by a local radio station, and he's described. You ready for this description of Richard Ryan? He is described as having an amazing personality, a great voice, and a strong commitment to success.
There you go.
What do you think
The
of that?
triple threat.
Mm-hmm. You can find out more about him by going to creativeanddreams.com/Richard Ryan, or on Facebook under Richard.Inkenbrand. Inkenbrand. INKENBRANDT.
It's in our
Rolls off the tongue.
Facebook event.
Or go to our Facebook event and you can look up all this information
it's
there.
there.
creativeanddreams.com/Richard-Ryan. I didn't see that before. But this is Richard's song called Louisiana here on the Deuce Music Minute on Rock on Radio.
Down in Louisiana, south of I-10, you can hear the roar of a southern pride echo through the tiger wind. Some folks call us crazy, some think we've gone insane, but we'll rock you out, little Cajun style, at a tiger football game. Louisiana, so proud and bold, eye of the tiger, purple and gold. Louisiana, Cajun Creole. We start the party with tailgates and foam, to the cold and to the bone. Louisiana is my home, sweet home. Down in Louisiana, there's a city that you may know. Man, that place has been through hell, it's been through hell and home. So folks said it wouldn't, and some people said they care. 2009, we shocked the world, back on New Orleans days. Louisiana, we're so proud and bold. that nation, black and gold. Louisiana, Cajun Creole. We start to party with tailgates and boom to the core and to the bone. Louisiana is my home, sweet home. Louisiana, Cajun Creole. We start the party until gates unfold. All the good times, let them roll. Louisiana, my home, sweet home. Louisiana. 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 Louisiana.
There we go.
Nice.
Richard Ryan on the Deuce Music Minute
You fit right in.
and his tune Louisiana. So yeah, I like that.
His hometown.
His hometown. Our guests in studio tonight are the Power Tones. If you want to give them a call, please do so at 609-241-7103. You said our good buddy Bobby Boyd is listening
That's
tonight?
right. Yes.
Hello
Hey,
there,
Bob.
Mr. Bob.
Hey, Bobby.
Well,
Yes, I was out there. Mhm.
probably shouldn't call him Mr. Bob.
I call him Rob, but that's I know him.
It's a portable toilet, Mr. Bob.
Porta John.
Yes,
It's a monopoly.
it's true. He's the only one. But so, all right.
Yes,
So,
and Loretta's listening too. She
Lor-
loves the blues.
Oh,
She's
the
on
blues.
YouTube. Yep.
okay, the blues.
She loves the blues and jazz.
Right. So, websites. How do we find the Power Tone? Social media. What do we do?
Yeah, we are on Instagram, the Power Tones, on Facebook, and our website is thepowertones.com.
Oh, great. So
Easy to find. And we have a YouTube station. We have a YouTube video that goes with our single Day Drinking that was just released in November.
you read
I
my
think
mind.
that's it. We have a
'Cause I was
Twitter
just gonna
account, but
talk
we don't
about that.
really use it. We've not used the Twitter account. We
Uh-oh.
don't tweet. I'm not a
Oh.
tweeter.
She tweets.
I tweet all the time.
All right, I was going to talk. That was my next question. The single Day Drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why did you release it, and what's it? Is it part of a larger project, or are we just doing? What are we doing?
Well, we wanted to release the single first, we're in the process of doing an album. So we have five original tracks. We recorded 2 covers, but we may or may not use the covers. We may do all original.
What
so.
covers?
Well, we did a cover of Good Rockin' Daddy and Kansas City.
Oh, okay, Kansas City. Gosh, I used to play that. The first bar band I was ever in, we used to do that too. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Oh yeah. All right, so you have the Day Drinking. Was that inspired by?
Tell the story, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Co-worker said,
You got to get.
You got to
closer.
come.
Coworker
Meet,
said,
meet Mike. Mike.
coworker mentioned the phrase to me, and then we kicked it to him. Day drinking. I said, that's a great idea for a song. I'm going to write a song about that. he happens to be like a theater guy, so we have these creative conversations at work, and that's how it happened. And then I got with Gladys, and we got some words, and that's it.
So it wasn't based on, any,
Personal experience.
evil personal.
Your mom calling
Although-
or anything like that.
No, I cut all that down.
I
You know,
think we've all done some days.
you get
like
tired
that
of
in the
feeling
past.
lousy the next day. That ended in my 20s.
I have a buddy who wrote a song probably 7 or 8 years ago now called "Chain Drinking." Chain drinking. And he
That's a good
starts the
one.
whole thing off with you hear booze getting poured into the
Yeah,
bottle.
love
of the
it. That's a nice
Pretty
idea.
good.
We should have done that.
The gentleman's name is Peter Praza. He, him and his girlfriend, or I think it's still his girlfriend, Susan Laverty or Larity. Oh my God, Susan Doherty. Susan. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on Susan's name. I need my meds. They opened the place in Somerville, the Dragonfly Cafe.
Or the little cafe, yeah. Mhm.
They just recently closed it, but Peter,
okay.
Peter was a piano tuner,
Oh,
and
okay.
for his vocation prior to that, and he still did it, but he used to tune he tuned Whitney Houston's piano, and he had some nice high end clients. So, but he's also a musician, and he wrote "Chain Drinking," which I thought was
Nice.
which is actually my favorite tune of his because it's actually very catchy. So.
He probably had to decide between binge drinking or chain drinking. Picking the name.
Yeah.
No, just saying.
Why not? Well, let's do something else. We're gonna do can you do day drinking or do you want to?
Sure.
Yeah, we do it.
Okay.
All right. Oh,
Got
we
the
got a
drop
tune.
D for that one.
There you go. We had I had a guest in here. Her name was Patty Blee. Patty's from down around Atlantic City, and her now, unfortunately, late husband Ernie Triunfo. Ernie created. She likes to play and drop D a lot, so he used to own a guitar shop. Matter of fact, he was guitar tech for a lot of the acts that came to Atlantic City, like some of the larger
Oh,
names.
yeah.
And he devised a device
The lever. The lever.
with just a little. Yep.
Mhm.
All she would do is flip a switch.
Yeah.
Boom, the whole guitar would go
I
in the
love
drop
it.
D. So go ahead. This is day drinking.
Just an offset in the drop D. Every time I've played a song in drop D, I would forget to retune and I'd start the next song. Like, what's going on? This doesn't sound right. You got to remember to retune that D string to E. Oh, well, here we go. Day drinking.
We'll do it as greasy as we can. We usually have a harmonica ripping on this one. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
I hear you day drinking, baby. Now what's come over you? I hear you day drinking, baby. Tell me what's come over you. You gotta change now, baby. That stuff's no good for you. You had it good in the morning, just after sunrise. You had it good in the evening, and to my surprise, you started there drinking, baby. Now what's come over you? Now what a shame, baby. I just don't know what to do. Now when we first met, You had to sit now and then, always at night and always with our friends. When the sun comes up, you started drinking them down. You're headed for the wrong side of town. You keep saying you want one more little more. Don't you know, baby, I can't take anymore. As time passed by, I don't know why. I don't see a change, and that's kind of strange. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I think we're headed for a little heartbreak. You know you're gonna miss me if I have to say goodbye. I thought you'd give it just one more try, but you're still there, dreaming, baby. Now what's come over you? I hear you're there, drinking, baby. Tell me what's come over you? Oh, what a shame, shame, baby. I just don't know what to do. Oh, you better quit that day drinking, baby. I can't stand to see you this way. When the sun comes up, you better put that bottle down.
Nice. Stay drinking.
Awesome. That sounds like it should be on your show.
The Power Tones
Yeah.
here on Rock on Radio. I got the CD
Ooh,
somewhere.
nice.
There you
Yeah.
go. We'll have to debut that one perhaps not next week, but the week after.
Okay.
I'll
Got
let
a
you
nice
know.
harmonica solo on that one too.
Nice.
So,
I'll let you know who plays the harmonica for you in that one.
Tony Sky.
Tony Scott.
Yeah,
Nice. Another Tony.
that's right. Another Tony.
All right. There you go. 609-241-7103. If anybody would like to talk to the Power Tones, and we'll give you something. We'll give something away. I'm not sure what, but we'll give it away.
Well, we have some T-shirts if somebody wants
We
to.
have T-shirts.
Wants a T-shirt?
Oh, there you go. Power Tones T-shirt.
Nice.
We'll include that in the package, along with some Rock on Radio tchotchkes and things of that nature. We can do that. So, again, 609-241-7103. I have to take a drink there. And it didn't help. Okay. So what's next? You have upcoming gigs? What are we doing?
Next gig is February 29th,
Okay.
and it's at the Noodle Wang in Parsippany.
The Noodle Wang. Polish restaurant.
I think so. I think they have excellent pierogies there.
The Noodle Wang. How did you, I'm guessing it's a restaurant.
It's actually,
It's
it is a restaurant, right?
Yeah, Chinese restaurant. It's our
Now-
first time playing there. So,
Yeah, we're technically playing for a private party, yet it's open to the public. So I think we're allowed to invite people. They hear us, right? There's like the way it's situated. We're playing for private party, but you know, and we're available for weddings and bar mitzvahs. Anybody out there?
Now, how many tunes do you have in your arsenal?
Oh well, we have lots.
you know,
Lots.
There's probably 60 or 70 songs.
Okay, so you've got enough for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh
Yeah, I mean, not every gig wants to hear blues either. You know, sometimes they want to hear like. Can we give you like a minute of a song?
Yeah. um, but you're a blues band, so why would they hire you if they didn't want to hear blues?
Well, we came from playing all kinds of music. Also, blues is like our choice now. But we all came from bands that played every. I was in a Rolling Stones cover band for 10 years.
Okay.
And I played with Dennis Dykin from the Smithereens for 10 years. We had our own 60s pop music band, you know, with Andy Burton. And he always had great players.
Mhm.
So we did songs like Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, California Dreamin', and all that.
Good.
Yeah, so depending upon where we play, you know, we'll mix in other types of music, you know, and
Yeah.
you get more gigs that way.
Yeah, you know.
You get
Appeal
to play
to
your
masses.
blues music, and you get, you know, get to be called back because
Oh, yeah.
there are bands out there, if they just play blues, they just don't work as much, you know. So sometimes you have to throw in some other songs as well.
You know, it's funny how blues are much maligned. They really are. You know, that they but they run cyclical.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, blues that I was in a band once with this guy, and he said to me, he goes, you know, you realize rock and roll is all blues.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're dying over there.
Do we have coffee? Oh, that would help. I need something warm.
Tequila?
We have tequila?
I
Do we have
remember
that?
liking the early Elvis stuff. My mother played Elvis around the house a lot.
Right.
And that really hit me too. I didn't mention that before, but those early Elvis songs, they were the best. Sun Records session.
Yeah, so that's a lot of our repertoire too, is based on like roots rock and stuff like that, which everybody likes. The Chuck Berry, the Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, Fats Domino. So we do all of that stuff.
Tricky thing, if you listen to Earl Palmer on those early Little Richard records, I mean that was insane. That guy was off the charts with them. Sound like he would be falling down the stairs. He could energize a song without speeding it up, but
excuse me.
He had a thing, Earl Palmer.
And for those people who don't know who Earl Palmer is out there, he's a drummer. Check him out.
One of the guys who comes to the Hopewell Hayride is Bill Turner from Bill Haley and the Comets.
Yeah.
And he's there probably every other week he shows up. So
yeah,
it's always a lot of fun when he gets up there. But the thing is that a lot of these veteran guitar players, they have, thank you so much. These veteran guitar players, they have, a little bit of hearing situations. So they tend to get very loud. And it's like, you know what? You got to turn that stuff down. But I'll tell you what, Bill can still play.
Yeah.
He can really rip it off. So
He did a parade recently in New York, and his twin amp fell off the truck. He knows I do some cabinet repairs, so he came down to my house. He lives in Toms River, but he came up to Colonia. I glued the cabinet together for him, and we talked a bit. He did talk about the Bill Haley days. Whenever I sit down and get to meet with him, I always ask. He played for like 2 years in the 70s with him.
Yep.
You know, he's a throwback to the original. There's not many of them left. The original guy, you know.
Not many at all. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's actually really a treat to watch them guys perform.
Yeah.
Because they use very little effects. They don't come in with a pedal board that's got 25 different pedals on it. They got ouch.
Close.
They have a Fender twin reverb, and that's it. You know.
Yeah. What was I talking to him? We were talking about the lead of. He came in and he brought out. He's got his original '65 Gibson 335. He does the lead to "Rock Around the Clock." That's his specialty. That kind of guitar lead stuff. And you show me it and all that.
Yep. That guy was ahead of his time.
Oh, yeah.
Way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
609-241-7103. We have a Power Tones t-shirt to give away. So you want to do some more music?
A call
I see you looking, Gladys.
Oh, sure.
I see you looking. You wanna
Uh,
looking intently
We
at the
don't
list
have-
there.
no, we don't have to. It's totally up to you. I love,
Why not?
love doing it. Why not?
Well, you came all this way.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Here and
Came all this way. Might as well play.
Right, Anthony? You all right over there?
He's waiting. He's waiting.
Okay.
There.
He's being patient. So, Anthony, do you play? Who else do you perform with besides the Power Tones?
I play with the Baby Maurice Band. We're out of Morris County.
Okay.
And Maurice used to play as a hired hand with the Georgia Satellites.
Oh, okay.
Guitar player, singer, some songwriting. And I play with Drifting Back, an oldies band out of Colonia. No relation to these guys here. And so, you know, and whenever they need me, I'm here for them. So it's fun. I do a lot of open mics.
Oh, yeah? You like to hit the open mic?
Yeah, keep loose, you know, in between gigs.
Oh, yeah. I met a lot of very good. That's how I got guests for this show when I first started it almost 11 years ago. I would go to the open mics, just start handing out cards.
Ah.
Call me if you want to be on a radio.
Right.
Did that for about 3 months. And that was almost 11
Long
years
time
ago.
ago.
And I have not had to do that since. I still go to open mics, but I don't have to. I'm fortunate, very extremely fortunate that I have people wanting to come on the radio show. Every now and then I'll see an act that I'll reach out to, aka the Power Tones, because you know I thought it'd be pretty cool to get a blues band in here. So, all right. So what are you gonna do for us?
Ward of the state it is. Boss said ward of the state.
I see that. So she didn't say warden.
What key is this, Gladys? Let's get the key right.
F? All right.
You got no money, you got no car. What are you looking at me for, you lazy slob? You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. It's way too late for you. Got no car, you can't get far. Spend all your time at the local bar. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. It's way too late for you. Sleep over here, you sleep over there. You're a couch sucker, but you don't care. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. It's way too late for you. Hotel, motel, middle lodge too. All of these places were made for you. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. You're just a ward of the state. It's way too late for you. You better get yourself together before it's too late.
The Power Tones here on Rock On Radio. You know what I like about your music so far?
What do you like?
What I like
It's about deadbeat people.
is that
I know, right?
yeah, I do notice that theme.
inspiration? I want to know.
What I like is you guys have pretty much thrown out the traditional blues ending. Dun, 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 dun. You know.
We can do one. We'll do one.
No, I don't, because every blues song, that's part of the reason why I think the blues gets the bad rep is because many end that way.
We do our share of
Right.
endings like that.
Right.
I think actually, not to say you're wrong, but I do believe "Look My Way" might have ended that way, but not quite like that.
Well,
You
yeah.
have your own style of ending, which is nice.
You know, or the traditional where it ends and then the drums with the three. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, the slow, right? Slow. Yeah. That's what you. Yeah.
You know, lots of holding the last chord and cymbal crashes and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. No, we didn't do that.
Well, I like that.
I like. I like them all.
Actually, on my blues show this week, the third or fourth song in will be my band. The one that's on tomorrow night will be one of the bands I played in that did blues. And
And what was the name of that band?
WC Soulshine. It was an
Oh, okay.
original band.
Uh-huh.
We did a mixture of blues and rock. I'm featuring the song Mistress Blues
Oh, I like the name.
tomorrow night. So that's like, I think, the second or third song in. So
Cool.
should be there. All right. So what kind of gigs are they that you prefer? Do you prefer the corporate events because they pay much better, or the bar gigs, or what do you like to do?
Well, here's the thing.
There's always a thing.
We get gigs from other gigs. We play one of the most largest and active American Legion halls in Toms River.
Okay.
On Church Avenue. It's very active. They have 200 motorcycle ride. There's tanks all over the place. The crowd is an older crowd, and they really listen to you.
Right.
They're not texting. They're actually dancing. You know, Toms River has a retired community, and we got a couple gigs out of that. They have their entertainment facilities at the where they live. You know, when they're in their adult communities, and we wind up playing their Halloween parties, and so I think it's important for bands to sound their best, and you get other gigs from gigs nowadays. That leads you to wherever. But
So you don't have a favorite. I like. Well, I think what Mike is trying to say is, if anybody's listening to you, that's our favorite.
That's our favorite. That's our favorite.
If anybody likes you and listens to you, we like that.
We've all
it
had-
could be in a bar or it could be at the Waldorf Astoria. We don't care. That's right. If
I
they're
had a-
liking it, yeah.
I had a running gig at the Meadowlands Plaza Hotel one time for about 9 months every Friday. And we would play, one time we played a bunch of, like a lawyer convention or something. And we were really playing good. I had Kenny G's bass player with me and
Oh, nice.
really good drummer on the drums. And we played a song. They didn't even turn their heads. They didn't even look. And the drummer was, oh, man. I said, Russell, relax. Don't worry about it. Sometimes they don't pay attention to you, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you're
Some
just
gigs.
background music.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick Winnow did my happy hour last month. Once a month, I have a happy hour, and I get a acoustic solo act, maybe a duo, and you know, he did it. Nobody's paying attention. It's basically just there to be music, background music.
That's the way it is sometimes.
And that's it. And that's how it is sometimes. I mean, he's still getting paid, whether people listen or not. He's still getting the same amount of money, but you know.
It's nice to be engaged.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to say one of my favorite gigs. We did the Stanhope House because that's specifically a blues related
Right.
venue, and so for what we do, it's that's rewarding. When you get to play in a place that your type of music is what people come to hear.
Right.
That's what I do. I do the sound at Cafe Artiste, and it's all original artists, and it's an acoustic
Are you guys
room.
familiar with Cafe Ortiz?
No.
It's every Tuesday night in Ocean Grove. Well, it's the old Neptune High School.
Ocean Grove,
And,
yeah.
on the third floor
Wow.
of the Jersey Shore Arts Center, and Janet Rothstein runs it, and all local all original artists come, and we have 5 or 6
Mhm.
at a pop, and that it's great. It's a great venue, and everyone is there just to listen to music. There's
that's
quiet,
fantastic.
quiet
Mhm.
food.
Yeah.
The room is dark, and it's all about the music.
Yeah.
And it's the
No
great.
chairs face
Mhm.
anywhere but the stage.
Right.
You
Yep, round
can't.
tables and such.
Nothing sits this way. Nothing sits that way. Everything sits that way. You know, towards the front of the stage. And like Claire said, even when Janet planned out the food that they sell there, it's things like pinwheels.
Quiet.
Quiet food.
Quiet food. There's no chips. There's no pretzels. There's nothing that's wrapped in plastic that you have to open up.
That's a lot of thought.
It is, and it's great, and the musicians appreciate it, and the patrons come, and for $5 donation, you go on a Tuesday, and for 2-3 hours, you hear original music.
And it's all original. You have to be able to play all original.
And they have an artist there, a live physical artist doing stuff. Lisa Jubin was listening before, and she's one of the artists that they do. And so they do art while they play music.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a great little place, and there's a few places like that around that people go.
Very
just to hear
few,
the music.
unfortunately.
But the musicians love that.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Okay, let's do some more music. I want to hear more music. I like the power tones. You like them, Anthony? You like the power tones?
I love them.
Okay, good.
We got a picture left on a song.
You gonna what?
We played a gig with Anthony at a distillery.
Nice.
And we wound up with a New Year's Eve gig, remember?
Right. Private
At a
party.
house in Newton, at a private party in Newton, a house.
Even better.
Well, I mean, so,
Great people.
it's all good. I'm repeating myself then.
Nope, you're doing good.
I'm not as smooth as you guys,
Oh, this is smooth.
This is smooth.
We're in
You got
trouble.
the engineer, you got the producer, you guys got.
I'm hacking my head off.
We pulled them already.
I'm coughing so much that even when I'm not coughing, somebody's coughing. There's coughing.
It's coughing.
But now, since Claire was kind enough to bring me coffee,
Remedied.
it did because the water wasn't cutting.
Oh, here's a
Okay.
song called "The Dive Bar Jump."
Cool.
Yeah, it's original song.
It's my favorite kind of establishment.
Dive
Feature
bar,
Mike on vocals. on
right?
this one.
Dive bar, right? So we have to give Gladys a break. If we have a 3-hour gig, she's not going to sing all 3 hours. So we have to mix it up. If we have an hour show, then she sings the whole hour. You want to put your best foot forward.
High
So-
heels.
so-
No.
Nice.
3-hour gig, no heels.
Does the height of your heel affect your vocal ability?
No.
Just the length of how long she'll play.
I'm just checking.
In fact, you were just talking about this New Year's Eve gig we played, and I had these shoes on, sparkly silver shoes, and they started hurting my feet after about 2 hours. It was on a cement floor, and it was like, oh my God, my feet hurt so badly. We ran into the people who had hired us at the Milk Street Distillery, which is, a venue that likes blues. And so they had come after they had hired us, and the two ladies were saying about my shoes, how they couldn't believe I wore those things for as long as I did. But they appreciated what they looked like. So I was like, thank you. That's the best compliment.
That's right.
It was worth it to
It's all about the look.
kill myself for a few hours.
Maybe I should wear heels.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, stay away from the heels.
And dance.
Oh, don't dance in heels. Oh, good Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a dive bar jump. It's here to stay. You have a few drinks, you start rocking away. Early in the morning or late at night, it's open anytime. You think you might do the dive bar jump, swinging the night away. See all your friends getting real loose. They're having a time. There ain't no excuse. You just jump on in and join them too. Knock it out, baby. This one's for you. We're doing a dive bar jump, swinging the night away.
I see a girl, she's looking mighty hot. She's shaking all around, so she's looking for a lot. She had a few drinks now and getting real loose. Having a time, there ain't no excuse. We're doing the dive bar jump, swinging the night away. Jump, jump, dive bar jump, 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 dive bar jump, 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 the dive bar jump. It's a jump, jump, the dive bar jump. We're doing the dive bar jump, swinging the night away.
There you go. Dive bar jump. The Power Tones here on Rock on Radio.
That's fun.
So is that well, you're doing bar gigs, so most of them are what? 9 to 12, 10 to 1, 9 to 1. What are we doing these days?
Sometimes 8, sometimes 8 to 11.
Last night we played till 1:20, 1:18, 1:20. Not that I was counting the minutes.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was 1:19 actually.
Split the
It's
difference.
like, let's just do one more. It might have been 1:26. It was late, is what it was.
Yeah. Well, I remember back in the good old days.
Way back in the
Way back.
Stone Ages.
Correct.
Yeah.
Remember all the bar clocks were always 20
Yeah.
minutes fast?
Yeah.
They're always 20 minutes fast, you know, so they can get you out of there.
No, I caught that. Yeah. I'm not
There was,
that young.
there was a point that drinking age was 18. Do you remember that?
I
in
was
Jersey?
part of that.
You were part of that too, right?
Mhm.
He remembers when it was 15.
No. It was never.
That's another state, though. I think that's another state.
He's just that old.
Wow.
That was celebrating my 18th birthday in a bar after being in it for 2 years.
That's the way it was back then, right?
You
I had a
remember
big
when,
old beard and it looked like I was 40 when I was 16.
I took my first legal drink at the Olden Cafe, which was a bar right off of Greenwood and Olden. Remember that?
They tried to have a little class by calling it a cafe.
No, it was
It was a
total
dive bar. Of course it was.
my God.
That's when there was an active bar on every corner in every town.
That's true.
That's
true.
All ages would go too. It wasn't all the young people would hang out together in the open. Back in the day, everybody old and young were in the same room, so it was kind of an oversight in a way.
And when the phone rang, 40 people went, I'm not here.
That's right.
Do you remember? Now you mentioned Perth Amboy earlier. Remember that bar on State Street? If my wife calls, tell her I'm not here.
Yeah.
It's up by like Zoka Funeral Home up in that area.
That's the name of it?
Yeah, my wife calls, tell her I'm not here. True story.
That's right.
Oh yeah, and the Quiet Touch I think was another one up there in Perth. I used to deliver liquor up there. That's why.
Was that right?
And I had a buddy who lived off of Florida Grove Road in Perth Amboy.
Okay.
Up that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
I used to deliver liquor in Colonia and
Wow.
all that stuff up there. Yeah, that's why I'm semi-familiar with where Sayreville, South Amboy, Perth
Okay.
Amboy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The old
very familiar
days,
with
yeah.
the area. But so along those lines, right? And I don't care which one of you three wants to jump in on this. At a gig, do you have? Tell us the story about either the absolute worst thing that ever happened, or one of the funniest things, or one of the nicest things. Okay, give us a gig story.
I'm not thinking of anything really, really bad that ever happened on one of our gigs.
I had a drummer who shall remain nameless. He does shows and he teaches drums.
Okay, don't give him too much information.
He played along with me. We're playing a New Year's Eve gig in Paramus, New Jersey, and it was $300 a man, and all night. This really should be $350, man. This gig should be $350. So we finished the song, and this couple, it was like an Italian joint. Not that matters, but so this couple finished dancing, and they turned to the drummer and they said it was a slow song. And they turned to him and they said, "Hey, play another slow one." And he said, "Don't ask me. He's the band leader. Ask him." "No, I'm asking you. Play another slow one. Don't ask me." I'm not the band leader. You ask him. I said, and so he storms off. The keyboard player jumps on the drum. There was no fisticuffs. Keyboard player jumps on the drum set and saved the set, but sometimes tempers could just spring.
So this guy
flare.
walked off of New Year's gig?
Yeah, he walked off. Yeah. Just he came back. He just walked off for the moment. I think it was close to coming on a break. We were close to coming up on a break anyway. I think that's the craziest.
Cool down.
Story.
Timeout.
Yeah, timeout.
That's one story.
Stories from previous bands. that might
Anything,
have a
sure.
story.
What's the
I don't
funniest,
know.
oddest, nicest, best? What happened? Tell us about your past,
Well, let me see here. I used to do a lot of weddings. And,
Yeah, so you gotta have some great stories. They were always my favorite gigs to play
It's like the sidelines.
because as a band member, you could sit back and just watch
Oh,
as
I
the
would-
cocktail began to kick in.
I would contact the brides beforehand because I was the band leader, and I would talk to them about what they wanted, and they would tell us, "Oh, you're getting fed, you're not getting fed, whatever." And sometimes we could have a drink at the cocktail hour or whatever. And this particular bride, I wasn't asking. She was like, "And no band of mine is going to have a drink at my wedding." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." She was just like, "So," I'm like, "I don't know what her problem is, but okay." So we're doing the wedding and this and that, and about an hour into it, she got so drunk that she couldn't do the dance with her parents, the cake cutting, none of it. So it was
Do as I say,
apparently
not as I do.
I guess that's why she didn't want the band to drink. She thought everybody drinks like that, I guess. So that was an interesting one. A sad one, really, but But we didn't have a drink, so that's good. We were all good.
Two of my favorite stories over the years. I've asked that question from time to time of guests, and two of my favorite stories were Keith Minaccio, Shelley's husband.
Yeah.
Before they were even, I don't even know if they had even met yet, but Keith was on this program, and he said that they did a gig out in west of Harrisburg somewhere. So it was like a couple-hour drive to get out to where they were going. And they were the first band on. The owner refused to pay them until the end of the night when he paid everybody else.
Yikes.
And they're like, well, we got like a 2.5, 3-hour drive. Can you, help us out? We got day jobs. And the guy said no. Then when he paid him in pennies.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Rolled up pennies.
Wow.
Was he wearing them?
That's swinging.
After he gave him to he was.
That's swinging there, man.
And that was one. And then
Wow.
the other one was Melissa Chill,
Mm-hmm.
who is,
I know Melissa.
Melissa, right? She said that they were in a band where, and this was before the advent of cell phones, where they were going down south to tour. And they stopped in a convenience store and the bass player was sleeping in the back. And they got in, they got back out, they got in the van, they got a couple hours down the road and they turn around and there's no bass player. Apparently while they were in the store, he got out to stretch his legs and go into the bathroom. Nobody saw him.
Before they,
They left him in Georgia. They were in Florida somewhere.
Wow.
And then they realized where he was and they had to go back and find him. Yeah.
Before cell phones.
For us, there used to be this place
Carrier
called
pigeon.
there used to be, remember Art, the Manor Hotel on Whitehead Road? Oh yeah. Another dive bar. We used to call it the Manor Hotel. And but this guy had a great thing. If you were in band, it was great because you would play there all month. So you would set up the first Friday and you'd be there. All I had to take home with me was my cymbals and sticks.
I was like playing at Art Stocks in Fort Lauderdale.
Right? You could stay. And so he would book bands by the month. And one night this guy comes in, he's wearing Cuban heels. Those big, chunky, square heels. And he decides he was a Spanish,
Diminutive.
a Latino fellow who barely spoke English. Well, he got enough booze in him where he decided to take his shoes off. And he comes over and he hooks them on the wedge monitor so they didn't go anywhere. And it was kind of a cold, slushy, snowy night. right? He's out there dancing around in his socks, having a blast. He left without his shoes.
Oh, God.
He left his
Didn't
shoes
care.
on our monitor.
Well,
We'll leave them there.
Didn't care.
In Florida, the girls used to leave their clothes on our monitors.
Nice.
Those
So-
wet T-shirt contests.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Hey, man, that was 40 years ago.
I don't even want to think about what they look like in a wet t-shirt. You're just tuning in. This is Rock on Radio. Our guests tonight are the Power Tones. You got about 10 minutes left if you want a t-shirt. 609-241-7103. Let's do some more music before we got to wrap things up here. Oh, he's standing up.
Ooh.
He's standing up. Is this an adjustment? Got a cramp in your leg? What are we doing there?
Cramp in his amp.
Ah,
Wanted to adjust his amp.
little tremolo.
Like it.
How pretty.
Ready? 1,
Yep.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The man is tall, mad, mean, and good looking, and he's got me in his eyes. When he looks at me, I go weak in the knees. Got me going like no other guy. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man, yeah. He's got me in the palm of his hand. He's the devil divine. I'm so glad that he's mine. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man. Oh, the music he plays, the way he moves me and sways, rocks me to the core. When he sings in my ear, he makes me shiver and leer, leaves me wanting more and more. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man, yeah. Got me in the palm of his hand. He's the devil divine. I'm so glad that he's mine. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man. With his rugged good looks, yeah, he's got me hooked. Got me where he wants me to be. With his arms open wide, he pulls me in by his side. He's the kind of guy that does it for me. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man, yeah. He's got me in the palm of his hand. He's the devil divine. I'm so glad that he's mine. 'Cause he's my big, bad, handsome man. Oh, my big, bad, handsome man. Got me in the palm of his hand. He's the devil divine. I'm so glad that he's mine. 'Cause he's my big, bad. I'm so glad that he's my big, bad, handsome man.
Nice.
Woo! Love that.
Oh,
Mm,
Power Tones.
awesome. I love their lyrics.
Got to get one.
That one
Not
we
just that one. I've just meant all of them.
That one we didn't write. I have to.
That's nice. That's great.
Good song.
The one of the now I totally forget what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I had oh, okay. Of course, one of the most often used blues music beats as a drummer, right? Is from the kinds almost like a samba, like a mambo, you know. Crosscut Saw automatically comes to mind, which is always a lot of fun to play that kind of thing. Do you guys do you like that style, or do you do more? Yeah,
Yeah.
do you do any of that?
Yeah, we do a couple of the Fabulous Thunderbirds. We do a couple of their songs.
Do you?
If you remember them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Am I tough enough? Wrap it up. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Jimmy, that's what do you call it? That's his
Kim Wilson.
and then yeah, but the lead singer was
Kim Wilson.
no.
Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Yeah. What wasn't it one of the either Jimmy Ray Vaughan or
Jimmy Vaughan was the guitar player.
okay, the guitar player.
And Kim Wilson was
The singer?
singer. Yeah,
Oh,
our,
okay.
our buddy. We have a buddy, Dean Schott. He's doing a tour with Kim Wilson.
Oh, is he?
Actually,
He's
starting
bringing him
February
out
29th,
to New Jersey. Yeah, about 12 or 13 days or something.
Mhm.
Nice. And you've got a gig on the 29th at the Wang Noodle or
Noodle Wang.
Noodle
Noodle
Wang.
Wang,
Noodle Wang.
Gigs. I mean, I think in August we had 10 gigs in a month. So
Yeah, it depends on the
Sometimes you're
month.
busy,
Sometimes
you know.
you're,
Well,
yeah,
you-
very
you
busy,
know,
sometimes less so.
You know, December, January are always slow in the music business, in the bars, because you've got the holidays. People have holiday
sure,
parties and Christmas and then New Year's Eve and New Year's. And usually around this time of year, it starts to pick up again. And when you hit March, it starts to really, from St. Patrick's Day on, it seems to really pick up. And then July and August unless you're playing down the Jersey Shore somewhere, July and August are a little tough because people are on vacations, they're having backyard picnics. There's lots of other distractions.
what's your take on the Jersey Shore, the Asbury music scene?
As far as what goes,
Blues music.
there isn't any.
No, yeah, not
Okay.
down there.
Well, other than Sandy Mack, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sandy Mack. Sandy does a jam every Sunday or twice a month now. Maybe it used to do it at the Wonder Bar every Sunday. Now he does it at the Asbury Hotel,
Okay.
and he does everything from blues to Grateful Dead to those kind of
Yeah.
things. And he gets some really top-notch players that play with him
Yeah.
for that, which is always a very cool thing to do. But as far as blues music goes, except for the Asbury Park Blues Jazz and Blues Festival,
Yeah.
there's no blues music really down there. No venues, unless you're an original blues band that can, maybe do a showcase set at the Saints or something like that.
Can you get us a gig down there?
I've actually helped a few people get gigs down there. Whether-
Time to bring the blues to Asbury, right?
I'm telling you.
Actually, Kim Wilson is actually doing one show down there at McClune's Supper Club.
Oh, at the Supper Club.
Yeah, I think it's March 16th or something. Don't quote me. I know it might even be earlier than that. Somewhere in March. He's doing one down there.
Okay.
Cool.
So there'll
Kim
be some
Wilson.
blues.
Yeah. Morristown has a jazz and blues festival every summer. Right
There's
there
a few.
on the green.
Trenton used to have.
Mhm.
Trenton used to have one, but yeah. So they all have them,
Mhm.
but then it all goes away.
I know. It's one shot. One shot
Uh,
a year.
Like there's a blues guy around here. Actually, every Wednesday night they just started it. There's a place right on the Delaware River. It's now called Cooper's Riverview. Have you guys made the trip down here to go to the ballpark, the Yankees minor league AA team?
Trenton Thunder.
Trenton Thunder?
No. But actually, Cooper's Riverview, that used to be called something else, right?
It was originally when it opened. It was Kathmandu.
Okay, I
Okay.
played there with the 80s band we were just talking
Oh, okay.
about.
All right. Then it was Row Waterfront.
It's a very nice venue.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there
They-
at Kathmandu.
yeah.
And I was in a 10-piece band that we played there multiple times on
Mhm.
the deck outside.
Yeah,
and then
that's where we
did
played.
inside,
Beautiful
and-
out there.
Yeah.
Hot day.
That place on every Wednesday just started a blues jam. Wednesday nights,
At that place.
8 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a haul for you guys,
It is a haul.
but that's an option. And the guy that runs it, they're the two legendary blues players from this area, Joe Zook and Paul Plummer. So that's
Keep the blues alive, right?
That's right.
well, when that guy said to me, all rock and roll is based on blues music.
Mhm. It is.
I'm thinking to myself, well, not progressive rock, but in reality, it kind of is. I mean,
Trace it
everything
back.
stems from it. Yeah, if you wanted to take the the family tree,
You're right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
it all
Right.
stems from
Right.
blues music. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
As I was starting to say earlier in the program, it's cyclical.
Yeah.
You know, blues will kind of fall out of favor for a while, and then somebody like Stevie Ray Vaughan will
Yeah.
come along.
Yeah.
You know? Or blues will fall out of favor, and then somebody like Tedeschi Trucks comes along.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so there's one of my favorite blues artists, because I think she's a phenomenal player, is Anna Popovich.
Oh yeah.
I
right,
mean,
right, yeah.
you know, and she gets like little to no publicity anywhere. I don't even know where she gets airplay. I mean, I'm going to reach out to her people. I want her to send me some stuff because I want to put it on my show.
Yeah.
She does great with YouTube videos and so on and so forth. But so, oh, I hear the bell.
That's tolling for you.
It's 9 p.m. Wow. Well, once again, your websites.
It's thepowertones.com. We're on Facebook, The Power Tones, and Instagram.
The Power Tones.
The Power Tones.
There you go. Well, thank you
Easy
so
to
much,
find.
guys, for making
Thank
the
you for
trip.
having us. We
Thank
had
you
a
for
great time.
That's a
Yeah.
nice conversation, and we wish you the best of luck with your gigs. Keep us posted where you're going to be. Well, maybe we'll make the trip.
Yeah.
We should.
Awesome.
Don't you
That's
think?
great. Yeah. I'd
All right.
love to.
Next week, we got Samantha Spano coming in next
Yay.
week. I love this kid. She's almost 17 now, I guess. But
She's like 6'5".
yeah, she's tall, big, tall girl, but
Beautiful.
beautiful girl. But she writes some great music
Yeah.
too. So she'll be in next week. Until then, rock on.
Thank you.